Genuine success, joy, happiness, and ease come from gratitude to end the chase of I'll be happy when, I'll be successful when, I'll be wealthy when. There is an issue that people are having today, and the issue is that more will never be enough. And there is this reconciliation that we want more, which is great. We should ask for more, but there is no meeting of the feet. People don't understand that more is enough, and wanting more and pursuing more is absolutely enough. Getting more and then wanting more has to have each time its own fulfilling process that goes through. And so many of us think about, if I just could have a little more money, more success, more recognition, then I'd finally be content. And what I want you to do throughout this training and exercise, which I will provide to everyone, of course, with my book as well, just email me, david@dmeltzer.com. And it's pinned always, david@dmeltzer.com, is to stop thinking about, then I'd finally be blank, and start thinking about, for the sake of what. And when you find yourself thinking that if I just could have more of this, more of that, more of more, which is perfectly fine, it's a testament to your faith that we live in a universe of, it is the subsequent phrase that kills us. The then I'll finally be happy, content, joyful, at ease, instead of for the sake of what. You see, when we can replace the finally I'll be blank into for the sake of, we will always be content, joyful, fulfilled, and at ease. Only spending minutes and moments in dis-ease when we have instances of reactions to fears of all type of quantum nature, genetic inheritance, energetic inheritance, meaning of the past, all of these different things that cause us to create interference from where we are to where we want to be or better. So many years of my life, I moved from the world of not enough, where I was a victim, where things happened to me. I lived in comparison and conditions at all times, and blame and shame and justification, to a world where I was receiving so much more that I felt that I was in this world of just enough for me. Everything happened for me. Everything became a trade, a negotiation, quid pro quo. And although it seemed as if I had reached abundance, I hadn't made the shift in the paradigm from I will be happy when to for the sake of what. But still, although I had more money than I ever dreamed of, a better family than I ever dreamed of, a better life than I ever dreamed of, I felt empty because I kept saying to myself, I want more, which is fine. I live in a world of more than enough. But what's not fine is I kept saying, I want more of this. I want more money, more happiness, more of a relationship with my wife and children, more of everything. And I will be content when that happens, instead of for the sake of what. And this subtlety of an infinite chase, in truth, chasing more will never fill us up. The pursuit for the sake of what will. We live in a world of more than enough of everything for everyone. It's a testament to the faith that there's more than enough information, more than enough energy, more than enough protected, promoted, loved, and perfected by the source of more than enough, your God, your Jesus, Muhammad, Joseph Smith, Buddha, whatever it is that is your best option to give you that faith that there's more than enough of everything, so that we can shift from this idea of lack, of I'll be happy when, to the abundant feeling of for the sake of what. This training will reveal why constantly hunting for more is fine, but it is locked into dissatisfaction if you want more to be happy, to be healthy, to be wealthy, to be worthy. If you will be happy when, instead of for the sake of being happy, for the sake of being healthy, for the sake of my children and family and friends, etc., my humanity. And how recognizing the sufficiency all around us opens the door to the authentic fulfillment that we look for. the essence of who we are, the inventory that we take of self to adjust ourselves that represent ourselves. Let's dive into how you can break free from the never ending cycle of I want more and then I'll be happy phase of your life and start living from a mindset, a heart set, and a handset of faith and abundance. The first thing that we need to do is recognize that illusion of more. More is never a fixed target, it's a potential. It keeps moving beyond your reach. That's the idea of infinity, infinite information. We want more information. There's an infinite amount of information. We want more energy, infinite amount of energy. We want more money. Money's an energy, so there's an infinite amount of money. We want more health, infinite amount of ease. And the more is never a fixed target. It keeps moving beyond our reach, which creates void shortages and obstacles and interference between this abundant for the sake of what attitude pursuing our potential. And if you believe that contentment lies on the other side of achieving just a little more, just more, trapping yourself in endless dissatisfaction. So many busy executives today set a never increasing sales quota for themselves each quarter. They feel no real satisfaction when the targets are met. They instead utilize the pausing to celebrate or define success. They immediately raise the bar again and never allowing themselves to feel accomplished. Remember, celebrity is celebration. Become your own celebrity and celebrate the pursuit, the progress, and the failures, mistakes, and setbacks. Celebrate them by finding light, love, and lesson in them, by learning to enjoy the consistent, persistent pursuit of them, by learning to enjoy the obstacles, voids, and shortcuts, the things that you didn't like or didn't love, or other people didn't like or didn't love. Learn to enjoy that for the sake of your health, your wealth, your happiness, not I'll be happy, healthy, wealthy when. Realize that chasing undefined more and attaching your outcomes to define more is like chasing the horizon. You'll never arrive. Fulfillment comes from understanding that the enough is a decision, not a destination. We need to write down the things, pay attention to the things, give intention to what we do, say, think, feel, and believe under the notion of more. We need to ask ourselves, for the sake of what? Is this truly what I want? For the sake of what am I chasing it? For the sake of what? I think it will fill an inner void. For the sake of what? Instead of attaching to I will be content, happy, healthy, wealthy, worthy when. The second lesson is, how do we shift our mindset from the victim of to me to the for me false facade of everything's happening for me, but yet it's just another form of scarcity, negotiating, trading, quid pro quoing, attaching ourselves to I'll be happy when, to an abundant world for the sake of what? There's more than enough of everything for everyone for the sake of blank. Many people oscillate between these worlds, from being a victim to just enough to this beyond transaction, more than enough abundance. And they don't even realize that there is a more than enough perspective available. So many business owners constantly blame the economy for their poor performances, poor sales. They live in a world as a victim, the tariffs, the interest rates, the whatever it may be. Or they assume only they have enough resources to keep the doors open, just enough to keep us here, to weather the storm, just enough. But after adopting an abundant mindset of more than enough for the sake of what? For the sake of keeping the doors open, for the sake of increasing our sales, for the sake of utilizing our health, happiness, wealth, and worthiness in order to start collaborating with other businesses, sharing customers with one another, buying from each other, selling for each other for life. And we now see that the reach has expanded exponentially, proving that there's room for everyone to thrive, everyone to help one another, and know people to help one another for life. When we live in the world of abundance, we move from the life that happens to me or the life that happens for me to the life that's happening through me. You become a co-creator, a co-collaborator, a co-coordinator of the infinite amount of information, the infinite amount of energy that exists as part of all of us. We just want to figure out what we're doing to separate us from it. Of your new reality, it will no longer define it by the external limitations or definitions or destinations. Identify the world in which you currently operate from most of the time or from time to time. List out the practical shift you can make to step closer to this abundant mindset of for the sake of what, not I'll be happy when, turning the comparisons, the conditions into gratitude of the ability to find the light, to find the love, to find the lessons. There is an expense to all of this. There's an expense that we don't see in the chase considered to be the chase of the horizon comparatively to the pursuit of your potential by learning and loving what you don't like or love each and every day consistently without quitting, persistently in the pursuit of your potential, reminding yourself it won't be the mistakes, the setbacks, the slips, the falls, but it will be the lack of commitment that causes that interference and separation from the world of more than enough of everything for everyone for the sake of blank, not when I'll be happy if. So many athletes that I work with, they train relentlessly and they win multiple championships, but they suffer. They choose to suffer in the world of for me or not enough or just enough. They suffer from insomnia and from strained relationships and the pursuit of energies like money without enjoying their celebrity, by celebrating all that they have, by finding the light, the love, and the lessons, and forgiving the perceptions of what they think other people think or what people think they think. There's an inability to switch off from the pursuit of their next championship that leaves them chronically at dis-ease and distant from others, especially those they love the most, creating interference and separation from the infinite amount of information and energy that is there to create joy, happiness, and harmony, not dis-ease. The constant chase isn't just mentally exhausting, it's emotionally expensive. It is not a chase, it is a pursuit of your potential by utilizing a meaning of the past to forsake of what, not I'll be happy when attitude that drains your relationships and your overall well being. Recognizing the toll, the emotional expense that allows you to replace constant pursuit, striving with conscious, purposeful progress of I'm going to do, say, think, feel, and believe aligned with my divine direction. And when these divine detours appear, I'm going to make sure that I create a non-negotiable behavior and negotiable behaviors according to that detour in order to effectuate and maximize the usage of the gift of time. The 24 hours I'm guaranteed every single day, except for the last day of my life. How many minutes, moments, days, weeks, months, and years are you defining it with interference? How many minutes, moments, days, weeks, months, and years are you attaching to I'll be happy when, I'll be wealthy when, I'll be blank when? Set a daily check-in. You have an alarm to just pause and reflect, remind, remember, and recollect on what you're actually grateful for. So many times, as I am one of the most annoying mentors and coaches and teachers. So if you want an annoying mentor, coach, and teacher, email me, david@dmeltzer.com, because I will annoy the crap out of you. What does that mean? I'll be honest and I'll be repetitive. And one of the things I keep repeating to everyone beyond the simple things to do or simple not to do is the simplest thing to do to impact your life is to say thank you. To find light, love, and lessons in everything you do before you go to bed and when you wake up. It'll shift your perspective to the more than enough for the sake of what, and reaffirm your current priorities accordingly. This will help break the behavioral cycle, the choices that are made from the clues and the patterns of our past, and shift the meaning of that past in order to facilitate this uncontrollable runaway ambition that is targeted towards a ultimate non-attainable goal of I'll be happy when, instead of for the sake of what. In order to do so, not only must we apply our why, which will then reflect itself in purpose, but also stay aligned. Stay aligned with our attention and our intention. Utilize mechanisms, methodologies in order to facilitate making sure we have our eye on the divine while we align with it. Being able to utilize a application of the infinite amount of energy and information, what we call inspiration, utilizing our intelligence and our intuition in order to facilitate a greater statistical success that creates acceleration, aggregation, and creates these compounding outcomes that outperform. I'll be happy when, I'll be wealthy when. Without a clear why in the application of it, any achievement will feel hollow. And I suffered this for so many years as I felt more and more hollow, even though my bank account kept filling up and more kids and happiness and health. Everything I ever dreamed of was there. Why was it when I was worth the most money at the peak of having three daughters under 10 and a wonderful marriage and my health and all these things that I had, did I feel so hollow? And it is the application of why that transforms that journey from a race, a comparative, competitive race, a transactional race, a negotiation race. I'll be happy when, if race, to a meaningful pursuit of for the sake of what. You can't have meaning unless you know for the sake of what. You can't apply your why unless you know for the sake of what. Shifting your focus from the external validation of others, the energy gap that's created by I am versus this is what I want people to think I am, buying shit you don't need to impress people you don't like. It is the difference of external valuation to internal fulfillment of your essence, your divine direction, making all the detours divine and even allowing divine time to illustrate, to shorten the lapse of time that is human construct between problems and solutions. You see, problems and solutions exist as one. We as human beings, in our human nature, need to create a lapse of time between the problem and the solution. But it doesn't really exist. It's just humans aren't capable of instantly seeing the solution in a problem for many things that they haven't seen before. There takes them time to recollect, remind, and remember themselves of the solution. We can guide ourselves with gratitude and forgiveness and accountability, applying our why and inspiration, utilizing intelligence and intuition. But in the end, the human interference itself, which is dictated by the time the heart stops till the time it starts till the time it stops, is a lapse of time. You are the problem and the solution. And our human experience is that lapse of time. So many aspiring entertainers that I work with that initially seek fame and fortune only to realize they're unfulfilled by superficial external validation. Celebrity is confused with fame, with recognition. Celebrity is the ability to celebrate self, to celebrate others. And I celebrate everything that's celebratable, which makes me a celebrity. Fame is an outcome that has no meaning, the same as money, unless there's a forsake of what. I want to utilize my celebrity and the acknowledgement and recognitions I receive in order to elevate awareness to this issue or for my cause or for the humanity. Once we recognize the application of why, not the search for why, to inspire hope through, for example, music as an entertainment or sports or whatever it may be, we shift focus to a community of people that want to help each other and know people that help each other. And we utilize them for purposes and cause, which is why everything that we do here at the Masters, Nashville with the dinner and the firewalk, New York at the NASDAQ and meetups and holding courts and the VIP dinner for Napoleon Hill Foundation, Boston with the speeches and the meetups and the VIP dinner, Denver with the speeches, the meetups, and the VIP dinners, all for a purpose or a cause, for the sake of Unstoppable Foundation, for the sake of junior achievement, for the sake of Napoleon Hill, which brings far more satisfaction and a greater engagement of a neighborhood of people that want to help each other and know people that can help each other. You don't get what you want, you get what you are. I'll repeat that. You don't get what you want, you get what you are. When your actions align with the core values and purpose of yourself, your inner essence of your skills, your knowledge, and your desire in the divine direction, success becomes a byproduct. Not a I'll be happy when or I'll be successful when. I am successful for the sake of helping other people, to empower over 1 billion people to be happy. It's a byproduct of my essence. Carrying on a brand, an authentic brand of being able to empower others to be happy, to make a lot of money, to help a lot of people, and to have a lot of fun, to live in that world of more than enough through wisdom and faith, shortening the lapse of time between the problems and the solutions that exist, rather than a never ending chase of the horizon. I'll be happy when, I'll be successful when, I'll be wealthy when, does not work. You don't get what you want, you get what you are. So define your core values. Define your non negotiables, minimum of time on sleep and family and faith and finance and study of time and relativity and all the other things, our health. Evaluate the direction and the time spent in that direction comparatively to that what you're doing to interfere with it. Understand that your current goals against these values adjust and will create divine detours if you look at that in that direction. The next lesson within the context of you'll never you why more will never be enough is gratitude ends the chase. You got to embrace it. Gratitude is the reconciliation. The ability to find the light, the love, and the lesson is the ability to shorten the distance of resistance, the lapse of time between a problem and a solution, and the struggle that exists in that time. Gratitude kills that reaction to fear and the envy at their very roots. The comparative nature of the conditions, the blame, the shame, the justification. You can't be thankful and resentful simultaneously. You cannot be thankful and resentful, guilty, hurt, frustrated, angry simultaneously. A grateful mindset grounds you in the present and illuminates the faith and the abundance that is already in your life. So many social media influencers that I work with become fixated on gaining more followers and likes. After practicing daily gratitude, they focus on supporting comments and existing loyal audience and stop obsessing over the numbers. Surprisingly, engagement grows when we look at for the sake of what and not the celebrity or fame of following and the wanting people to think I am attitude. It will organically grow with the people that are aligned with the frequency of you, your essence, your skills, your knowledge, your desire, and they will authentically be grateful for you and the community, adding to it by helping others and knowing people that can help others. When we seek more, often stems from a perceived lack. Gratitude flips the script. You can't feel grateful and interfere with your inspiration. Gratitude flips the script by highlighting what's right, the lesson, the love. It shortens the distance, the lapse of time between problems and solution, rather than what's missing. Create a fertile environment of more than enough, looking for what you want, not what you don't want, not what's missing, not what you don't have, or other people think about you and the perception of what they think you think, or the perception of what you think they think, which is an impossibility. Genuine success, joy, happiness, and ease come from gratitude to end the chase of I'll be happy when, I'll be successful when, I'll be wealthy when. Every night, I want you to think about the things you appreciate every day by saying thank you before you go to bed. Thank you when you wake up. This is the habit that rewires your brain to create problems and solutions as one, to shorten the distance of resistance, not only with the wisdom of gratitude, but the faith that it represents for your brain to look to the positive, to the light, the positive to the love, and positive to the lessons in even some of the most situations. Gradually, it'll loosen that grip of not enough. and move you to more than enough. As we cultivate this receiving mindset, another interference that people have is their ability to receive, because they forget that when they receive, somebody else was capable of giving. And that is the greatest feeling, that we're giving to other people, is their capability of giving. And we cut that off because we think we're humble. Many driven people focus so heavily on giving and striving that they block themselves from receiving help themselves. They don't see what they're given, the opportunities, the options, the touches of favor that seem to most, including themselves, when the time it occurs, as punishment, a problem. But yet there's the solution, the options, opportunities, and touches of favor of all that you're given, even from the most dire circumstances of loss, of setbacks and failures. The blessings are already available. So many nonprofits that I work with spend hours on admin work. They list out the tasks. They realize that some have to be delegated. They utilize the importance versus urgency rules and matrix, and train their assistants and build trust with their team. And they have a feeling that they're focusing in on this empowering leadership and growth. They put everything into their family, their friends, their associates, their community, their vendors, their customers. They spend all of their time pouring into the people they don't know or hardly know, and don't have enough to give to the people they do. A receiving mindset allows you to recognize and accept that all that life offers can be given through me, whether it's support from a mentor or unexpected new avenues, options, touches of favor for expansion, for acceleration, and for an exponential outcome of more than enough of everything for everyone, without connecting I'll be happy when, but instead of focusing in on for the sake of what. I am going to receive this for the sake of helping others. I'm going to receive this to feed other people. I'm going to receive this to build a bigger community, to help one another and know people to help one another. I'm going to receive this to exponentially make it grow. We need to practice the cancel, clear, connect philosophy that's written and connected to goodness, which, by the way, if you want these lessons, exercises, and guides, email me, david@meltzer.com. I'll also send my book that will talk about shortening the distance of resistance through canceling the negative thoughts, words, beliefs, feelings, by connecting to a higher, in spirit, infinite intelligence, intuition, information, and of course, energy. Catching ourselves when we're getting in our own way, when we're creating more distance between us and the solution. Cancel out the negative self-talk, the voice, clear the emotional expense and residue, and connect to the ultimate, infinite, inspirational, intuitive source that we are a part of. Stop interfering with it. You are worthy for the sake of being worthy. Not you will be happy when you are worthy by achieving something. The next lesson is redefining the enough attitude, the conscious choice that we must make of understanding what enough is. When enough becomes a moving target, you'll never feel content. You'll only have void, shortages, and obstacles, and a hollow feeling, an empty feeling. By consciously deciding what enough looks like for you for the sake of what, you will take control of your fulfillment, your passion. You will apply your why to everything that you do. So many tech entrepreneurs that I work with, they measure success by their venture capital round or their bank accounts or acquisitions. After realizing the golden handcuffs that they're trapped in a perpetual discontent of always having to raise money, always needing more, they define enough as having the freedom to spend the weekends with their family and support a cause they care about. Now life becomes noticeably more harmonious and joyful and happy for the sake of the family and the time spent with the family and the cause that they care about. True power arises when you choose to see your life as more than enough of everything for everyone, for the sake of allowing it to come to you for what you feel is important, rather than letting arbitrary markers like money, social status, accolades, celebrity, followings dictate own selves, your own selves, your self worth. We need to create a personal definition of enough. Enough means that I have the freedom to spend quality time in harmony with my loved ones and pursue for the sake of meaningful work and maintain for the sake of well being. Let this guide your decisions, not I will be happy when, healthy when, I will have enough when, because you'll never get there. We could shift the paradigm. This idea of pursuit is different than chasing. We can pursue a divine in a divine direction. We could pursue the light, love, and lessons in the detour. We could pursue our acknowledgement of time, but we don't chase it. And when we shift from for the sake of what to I'll be happy, we shift from I'll be happy when for the sake of what, we are utilizing the laws of attraction, of perception, and responsibility. Energy attracts like energy. When you consistently chase, you're operating with scarcity, that there's not enough of it, that there's only enough for me. And when you are grounded, grateful, and aligned, you naturally will clear the interference between that which is aligned with you at the same frequency as you, at the essence of you. And the bigger the opportunities, options, and touches of favor will occur. So many freelancers and entrepreneurs go through cold calling companies daily with limited results. They go through social media marketing companies daily with limited results. They go through email campaigns daily with limited results, trying to refine their brands, their products, solutions, services, personal brands, and portfolio. And the message around their unique style gets lost, and clients start finding them and are lost. Instead of the inventory of the idea that I'm going to work on myself, I'm going to improve my skills, my knowledge, and desire. I'm going to utilize time with non-negotiable behaviors that I know are aligned with my divine direction. And through the word of mouth, and business grows because people are buying from us and selling for us for life. The fastest and easiest way to stop chasing, but start attracting without desperation, void, shortages, obstacles. I'll be successful when is not enough. Success is not about hustling harder. It's about aligning with who you truly are so that the right opportunities, options such as a favor, flow through you and come to you for others and for the sake of what you desire in your human experience. Let's start each day with our intentions and our attentions, notating through all types of different things, meditation, journaling, vision boards, whatever it may be, that we need to pay attention to what we do, say, think, feel, and believe, and give it our intention each day with non-negotiable, non-circumstantial, and negotiable and circumstantial behaviors that are all in a conscious human experience of I'm doing my best to do, say, think, feel, and believe aligned with the divine direction, shortening the distance when detours come, making them divine, and allowing for divine time, not an attachment to I'll be happy when, but divine time for the sake of what? When we recognize the illusion of more, when we can shift our mindset from the victim to the to me, to the for me, negotiating, trading, buying shit you don't need to impress people you don't like, to the abundant world of more than enough, to understand the emotional expense of chasing, finding and applying our why with purpose and alignment for the sake of what, and then, of course, embracing gratitude to end the chase, to find the light, the love, and the lessons, to cultivate receiving, to make people feel good by allowing them to be capable to help us so we can help others, and the infinite loop of giving. We can redefine enough. It is actually a conscious choice to live in the world of wisdom and faith, of more than enough of everything for everyone, with something bigger than us that loves us, protects us, promotes us, and perfects us. We don't have to chase. It's already there. We just have to clear what we're doing to interfere with it. I am, not this is what I want people to think I am. What am I doing to interfere with I am? And remember, you are happy, healthy, wealthy, and worthy already. Doesn't have to be anything other than for the sake of what am I happy, healthy, wealthy, and worthy. We just got to figure out what we're doing to interfere with it. Embrace gratitude, focus on purpose, and let the chase give way to the genuine fulfillment, harmony, and ease that you are already at. Now is your moment to stop striving for more and start living for abundance that's already yours. Why more will never be enough? For the sake of what it will be. Thank you so much. This has been the Road to Revenue coaching, training. I've been doing this for over 26 years. Please, if you like the exercises and guides, my book, I'll send it to you, sign it, pay for shipping in the book, not a problem. David@dmeltzer.com. David@dmeltzer.com. Remember, most importantly, be kind to your future self and do good deeds. Thank you so much.